Okay, we are, okay, look, I still struggle as a man. What is going on, Kingdom? So today I am back with another message today, which I'm going to be talking about dependency on God. Now I have on the same shirt as I did from the last message because, well, it's the same day. I'm just doing this message after the last one because I just felt like it is what it is. But anyways, dependency on God is what we're going to be talking about today. Dependency on God, dependency on God. So, listen. The first thing that I want to say is that each and every one of us has a purpose, right? Each and every one of us has a purpose. I have one, you have one, your next door neighbor has one, my next door neighbor, whatever, has one. Everybody has their own purpose. And now whether we choose to go into that purpose is our choice. Whether we choose to go into the purpose that God has for us or not, that is our choice, right? That is in my belief, right? That we have a choice whether to go towards that purpose or not. Or we could work in ways where the enemy is pushing us, right? We can see all different examples of both, right? But whether we choose to go on the purpose that we know God has for us within the biblical principles and us knowing what is good or bad, right? We can choose in that purpose, right? Now, for those that strive to go into this good purpose that God has for our lives, there's going to be a lot of adversity in doing that. You know, there's going to be a lot of adversity. It's going to be struggle. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard in so many different ways going for this good purpose. And I do believe that that is what helps to make life what it is and what makes living good. You know, it's what makes it what it is because, you know, honestly, good truly can't, you know, good is good when it's tested, I guess is what I would say. Good is good as it's tested, right? So to truly know if you truly can walk in the good purpose that God has for you, you have to face adversity. You have to. And to truly understand and love and know what good is. Sometimes to even understand what love is, you have to see hate. To understand what good is, you have to see bad. To understand their contradictions. Their contrastions. What contrasts from love is hate. Right? And sometimes to understand what love is, we have to understand what hate is to be able to appreciate what love truly is, right? So with the good, you know, to walk in the purpose that God has for us, we're going to face adversity. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to be very difficult, but this is why we keep God with us. If you want to do something that is out of the box and out of the ordinary, for a lot of people, right, who go for purposes that are against what the world says that they should go for, you know, against just striving for money, against just running for self-growth and all of this. When you go into a purpose where you say, I'm going to do more than just that, but I'm going to do this for the kingdom of God. I'm going to do it for the good of this world, to help people, to help save souls, to help save people who are depressed and struggling in life. When you choose to go by a purpose in that, when you choose to go by that purpose, it's important to have God in what you're doing. It's important to talk to him. It's important to have him in your mind and have him and his principles in your mind. And I just want to say, I believe a lot of the time, for those that do go for these purposes, where it's oh my goodness, it's driven towards doing good for the world. It's going to be very difficult to make it through that kind of a purpose without following what God has for us, right? Without following what God has to place in our hearts and our minds and for his strength, his protection, we have to have him with us. It's very difficult. I don't want to be a stranger, right? I don't want to be a stranger to God, live a life full of danger, right? Because if you are a stranger, man, to God, and you walk into this, it's a dangerous path to go through the good path. It's going to be a lot of things that are going to be difficult to make through. It's going to be a lot of bad obstacles. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on, bad obstacles, all that. And you're going to be going towards this good purpose that God has for you. It's important to have that protection with us. God brings us protection and wisdom, you know, in our minds, the mental side of things, understanding who is going to be beneficial in what's going on and who is not, and who needs to really truly be spoken to and helped out, and who already has a good understanding of certain things. Discernment is what God brings us. Discernment towards a lot of things. Discernment towards what is the right path to take. Am I going to go towards partying on this day, and am I going to go towards drinking and things where it can be toxic for your health? Or am I going to go towards a path that's going to be righteous and it's not to hold myself back. That's where the discernment is, and it's not always going to be easy to stay away from those things, but at least but it's important to have the discernment so you can work towards staying away from those things. So the discernment that God can bring us in knowing those things, we need to stay away from them for what we're doing and truly understanding why, truly understanding what's the big important purpose for staying away from those things. That's the discernment, knowing what's wrong and knowing what's important here. So when you walk towards this good purpose, he keeps you protected, he keeps you strong in mind, he keeps you strong in body, he keeps you strong in spirit, right? By walking towards this purpose and taking care of ourselves. It's important. Right now, thinking of an example of what I'm talking about here. Now, Kanye is an example. He's speaking on a lot of things, and he's speaking out in a lot of things. I just want to use him as the example today because I feel like he is a good example. He's not the only person before who's truly worked towards going against what the media has to say and going against what the system, things along that has to say. He's not the first person to do it, But the thing is, we look at Kanye, and it's like, it's so nuts. But he does have God with him. He has God with him. And things it becomes a lot more difficult in these areas and in this area to know where to move right and to understand and know you are truly protected when you are making this sacrifice of self by saying all these things against the media. The media will work to tear you down. Anything good that you work to do here, the media will tear you down. It's a part of the enemy's plan. So when we choose to go into this good purpose in light, having God with us as our protection is so important. He keeps us protected, he keeps us molded, and he keeps us strong in what we choose to do that is good. So Kanye, he's going against the media right now and a lot of the evils, things that are going on. I don't always agree with what he says, but I do know and see what his intent is and what his heart is and what he's trying to do right now. And so, with him, he has God on his shoulders and what he's walking through. He has God on his shoulders, and so he is going to keep strong and protected in the purpose that he is trying to do. And, it's so easy for us, right, when we try to do those kinds of things, when we try to get caught up in whatever could be around us, whether it could be the women, whether it could be the ego, whether it could be the money, whether it could be just whatever it is that can completely throw us off track and put us in a bad direction because we were striving for good, and I'm not here to just throw names out because I feel like maybe that's for a different time, and I'm not one to be, I'm not one to do that because I think that's a little bit, that's not cool to just do and throw in a video. I'm not going to throw out names of whatever I feel is examples of where it became, people fell into a lot of traps and stuff that was not good for them, and I think that does happen. And I feel like with one like Kanye, he has God with him, and he keeps God in the cycle of what he's even doing and talking about and saying, and it's gonna allow for him to keep on walking and keep strong in the wisdom and mind and discernment away from the things that will try and throw him off of his course. I just want to say that I think it's important for us to have God because in the good purpose that we do, we have to understand with God we are protected. We are protected in discernment and in the mind, in the wisdom, in the spirit, and knowing, hey, I need to stay from that. Hey, I need to stay from that. And in the physical as well. We are protected by God. God keeps us protected, and I'm a strong and firm believer in that, right? And that's all I really have to say. When we walk by God's principles, that's when we're most protected and most strongly protected. And we have to be real and honest about that with each other. And it's very easy to fall off course in all of these different ways. That's why we keep God close in our circle and what we're doing. But anyways, that's all I really wanted to say for this message. Not a too long one, but he was my example for this today. So Kanye was my example. And that's all I have to say for today. So I thank you. I appreciate you for watching this message today. Thank you. You have an amazing day. God bless you. Thank you. And, just you have an amazing morning, evening, night. Thank you, and God bless you.